for the most part, and I'm not convinced that's the safest or or the best. We just lost our spare tire, almost rolled the vehicle. There's definitely going to Hello, friends, and welcome back. I am your host with the most, TheChronicToast, and today we are diving right back into the new version of BeamNG.drive. That's right, your most favorite of the soft body physics simulators for the car crashing automotive enthusiasts. Now, you'll notice here that some of the scenarios look a little bit different, and we'll notice here in game that the graphics look better, but they run a little bit less optimized. We'll dive into that here in a moment. The scenario we're taking a look at today is hopping around. Now, the difficulty is medium. The authors are, of course, BeamNG. The creation is March 24th of 2017 and is taking place on the Small Island, USA map. Drive across country from checkpoint to checkpoint in an Ibishu Hopper Custom. Now, this is a pretty cool one, so let's go and check it out. So here it says, reach each checkpoint with your off-road Ibishu Hopper. Don't go too fast. The terrain is quite rough. Tips and hints. Your vehicle is equipped with a range box and locking differentials, which are helpful for traversing difficult terrain. Look around to locate the next checkpoint. Now, we're going to take a look at here. We're not going to worry about the timer just yet. We're going to take a look at this beautiful Ibishu Hopper. Some really good flexation here. Sounds pretty good, stops pretty good. Looks like if we get on the throttle, it really squats down on the right rear. That's pretty good. Now, I know in the recording that the graphics are coming through a little bit better than it's showing for me. With the most recent updates to BeamNG, it has become a little less optimized. So if you are out there and you have the game currently, but you're on lower end specs for a computer, just consider you might need to lower the graphics down a little bit. Now, something else that's really cool about this is a new map. This is new stuff to play with. This is new stuff to work with, which is pretty darn awesome. Looks like some of our checkpoints here are not going to be necessarily on roads. That's pretty exciting. So without further ado, let's reset our vehicle, let's reset the scenario, and let's dive on in. We're going to be going as fast as we can here in third-person view with an automatic transmission to try to complete these tasks. We're going to take a few attempts at this if we don't succeed at first. Then we're going to dive into first-person view to see if we can't go faster. Let's get going. Oh yeah, hitting that start button in 3, 2, 1, revving up that throttle. Boom, baby, there it goes. Now, we don't want to break our front suspension on this, so we'll see. I have frogged around a little bit on this scenario, just trying to set up the game. But beyond this little bit of a road right here, I haven't really messed with this. Ooh, and yep, we do have to go off-road. So we are probably not going to be getting the best time. But as long as we get there, in relatively, one piece, the suspension on this looks like it's traveling pretty good. Oh gosh, yep. Still working good, Ball joints and everything are still all there. Wow. Now, they say we should probably consider lockers and stuff like that, but I don't know. So far, it's seeming to do all right. It looks like we're in high gear, four-wheel drive, but we don't have our front or rear locker locked on up. Now, I do not recommend in real life cruising through the middle of an unknown field at 30 miles an hour. That seems like a recipe for disaster and very expensive repairs. But we do have a number of things to go in here and fix. Now, we should probably be considering using the road for some of this. For those of you out there that are looking to go in and get some really good lap... Ooh, this brush here is a little sticky, a little rough. Ick. For those of you that are trying to get out there and speed run these courses, so to speak, or just try to get the... Oh, well, there we go. That's that. We're going to reset here and try again. And 3, 2, 1, bada bing, bada boom, rev it up, and let's roll. Oh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Now, what we were saying is for those of you that are out here trying to speed run these things, trying to get the best times, really trying to get out here and really kind of show what can be done, definitely go through this map, go through this scenario a little bit slower, and kind of pick and choose your course here. See where it's going to be appropriate. We're trying to go direct routes, I think, for the most part, and I'm not convinced that's the safest or the best. We just lost our spare tire, almost rolled the vehicle. There's definitely going to be some good intelligent usage of roads here. Yeah, this is not going quite where we want to go. Oh man, not ideal. And going through the tree, I think that was all right. That worked out cool. Ooh, into these whoop-de-whoops. Yeah, definitely going to consider the roads out here. This might be a better route where possible to use these. you're going to get a chance to go a little bit faster. You're going to have some known quantities, and our suspension is really quite hosered up here. So we're going to try to get back here on the road, trying to get a little bit of speed going, and trying to keep eyes on where we got to go. Watch out here for this rebuilt map. This is actually quite beautiful. There's a lot more roadways here. There's a lot more terrain features, a lot more, oh, what's the word I'm looking for? Ditches here on the side of the road. Now we're really making a meal out of this, but that's all right. That's all part of the experience. A lot of YouTubers out there, you know, they'll go through and they'll pre-run this quite a bit, and then they'll go through afterwards and, you know, include some talking through and talking points. All the stuff we do here is alive. So we're going to try this one more time. I really want to try to go through all of these. I think we need to just slow down, take a deep breath, and just kind of dial it back just a hair, at least from 10 down to maybe an 8.5, maybe an 8.75 if we're feeling brave on the Go Juice scale here. And really just try to go out of our way and complete this scenario, because this vehicle here, while it is an off-road variant, it looks like, there's definitely some odd interactions here with the terrain as we're going through it. There's definitely some stuff here that's not quite as expected. Now, what's really cool about that is BeamNG.drive is always continuously improving and updating their physics simulator. And what you're really getting here with some of these weird springbacks and bounces from the suspension on this is what you see on, honestly, some different kinds of mildly upgraded suspensions and off-road tires on similar Jeeps early back in the day into the late 80s, early 90s. It's called spring rebound, where you get some stuff, it bounces into the bump stocks on the vehicle, and the rest of the suspension is still moving, and you get some weird flexes and pops. But it's really cool to see that here in game, as frustrating as it can be. It's a realistic feature, which is pretty nice. We're going to go up here, I think. This worked out well. We just got to watch out for all of these little whoop-de-whoops and these little hypes and hops here on this terrain. I forget what they're actually called, but these things, these little rocks here are modeled. Yeah, not ideal. We're getting hung up here, get a little bit more speed. We could probably go around, but we don't want to pop the tires. That is a thing that can happen, and that's not ideal. So we're going to get back down here onto, oh, don't want to roll it. There we go. Get back down here onto the actual roadway, make up some speed. It's a little bit faster, and oh man, our toe is definitely knocked out. There's something wrong with the right front on this already, probably from running those controlling arms and steering rod. Steering arms? Pitman arms? One of those things over there into that big rock that was sticking out of the ground. This is going to be a little bit of an effort. Now, the question I'm asking myself right now is, when do we want to kick in? What do we want? When do we want to turn in to try to get to this? And I'm thinking the next little break here from trees might be worthwhile. Here on the left, I think. Yeah, this is where we're going to turn in. There's probably a road, but we haven't pre-run anything. There is a road. Can we actually use that to get up there? Most likely, we're going to hang a left. So that's what's really cool about this particular map, is we get a chance to just explore. We get to make our own way, and we're trying to get to a point. Now, a lot of times, you'll be out there with your friends, guys and gals, and, you know, just generally hanging out and say, you know what? I bet you we can't get up there. Let's try to get up there today if you've got an off-road vehicle. Now, it's not necessarily unique to off-road vehicles. I've definitely done it in some more commercial and pedestrian-style vehicular objects, and vehicles that really shouldn't have been where we were trying to put them. But it's always a lot of fun. Now, as in with everything, I always want to caution, you know, this is a video game. If you fail here or make, you know, dangerous choices, this is definitely going to be something that doesn't impact your life. But if you are going forward with real vehicles, be careful, take caution, you know, at the very least, let people know where you are, so that if the worst should happen or something bad happens, you've got, you know, an option and ability to get out. So success of 3 minutes, 10.88 seconds. We could definitely probably have knocked this down to about 2.5 minutes, maybe less if we were a bit more aggressive and familiar with the roadway. Now, of course, I'm using an automatic transmission. You could probably get more success by using a mixture of your lockers and your gearing to get where you got to go. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to try to go back here into in-person view. If we can work through the camera angles here. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Bada bing, bada boom. We're in first-person view. Interior looks pretty nice. Not too bad. I mean, it looks pretty standard for a Jeep-like vehicle. Oh, there is a lot of body roll and a lot of bouncing here. One thing I definitely notice is that the e-brake on this doesn't work as well as I would have liked it to. That may be a result of the weak braking on this vehicle, potentially mixtured with just the massive momentum and mass of the larger wheels on this thing. So if you get going, the tires are fairly grippy, and it just doesn't want to like lock up the rear wheels quite so much. You can actually power through the rear brakes on this with the e-brake. Now we are probably doing what we should not be doing, which is just bahing through the middle of this. You never know when a gully or a pit or a rock is going to kick up. That's really something that could damage this vehicle here in the game, also with real life. So if there are off-roaders out there having a blast, keep that in mind, especially if you're getting to the hobby. You're going to break stuff, you're going to have fun, but set yourself up for success. You know, definitely keep an eye on where you're driving. If you can, pre-walk the route if it's a little bit crazy, lots of rock crawl opportunities, so on and so forth. But the big thing is, you know, just have fun. Used to go out and roll around with big old Chevy pickup trucks and Jeeps and stuff, and it's always been a blast, but it always at some point gets expensive for you or whoever's rig you're actually riding in with. But let's see here. We're trying to get up here. We can't easily see, so we're trying to navigate around using the camera. I do need to get up here and use this a little bit. Definitely got to get up here and get this camera, the sensitivity a little bit lower down so we can get some more cinematic shots. I'll have to keep in mind that particular situation, especially when we go in and do that here off stream. All right, so here we go back on the roadway, and those little bushes really do get in there and grab the wheels and the suspension mechanics on this hopper. It's definitely pulling to the left a little bit now. Now we should be able to get a good straight shot on this. This is a slightly different route than we took last time, and that's all right. We're just kind of going for it, and we're seeing if we can get there a little bit faster. Again, we don't know the terrain in the way here. Gotta watch out for these whoop-de-whoops. Do not want to roll this thing backwards, especially get the nose towards the sky, and it will roll backwards on you and flip over. And oh boy, and that's always not fun. So we're gonna get up here. We're gonna get this marker. All right, we don't know where the road is. There it is. Might as well crawl through the rock garden, the little small one down here, and work our way around. We know if we keep circling left here, we will eventually manage to get back to where we got to go. And this is pretty darn cool. This is a really nice little rock garden here. This is a nice addition to this map. I'd love to get up here with the Gavril, you know, little tiny truck, and I guess it's modeled off of a larger Chevy or GMC style pickup truck like the Sierras and whatnot. But I would love to get up there with a bit more of the stock vehicles and see what we can do. Now, we do need to get out of this. We do need to get visibility on where we're going. Still no eyes, and that's really unfortunate, actually. We're probably way off course. And see, can we see it? It's way up there. So is that the one we're going for? It is. That is the finish line. So let's see if we can make our way up from wherever this is. We're just gonna, you know, we found the first clearing. We want to make sure we don't roll this thing backwards. Here's a roadway. All right. And we're gonna go to the right here and see if we can't circle around and on up. Looks like if you went to the left in that particular situation, you might run across a pretty cool little crawling opportunity. But again, with the top on this this Ibishu Hopper, try not to call it a Jeep, even though it's inspired by that. It's definitely something that it's hard to look up and get some visibility on where you're at. Now, this is some pretty rolly terrain up here, so we just got to be careful. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. A nice finish, a 351.68. So, again, we went a little bit slow. We got lost there at the end, but that's all right. It works out A-okay. So we're going to come over here, do a little bit of free roam, and, you know, just kind of get back up here to some of these views. This is pretty beautiful, honestly. I mean, there's other islands out there we could probably honestly get to if we had a boat or some other sort of vehicular object, or if you just want to use the commands to, you know, go through and crash some stuff out. But needless to say, speaking of crashing, let's get ready. Let's see. Should we just send it over this edge? I think so. I think that'll be all right. But I think we're going to rotate around this way possibly first if we don't roll it, and we'll go from there. So everybody and friends, thank you very much for stopping on by for a brand new series in BeamNG. It's been a blast. It's been a pleasure. Let's see how this goes. And remember, we'll be definitely putting up videos multiple times a week. And if you do want to catch us when we are available for streaming, you can go find us over on Twitch as well. So thank you very much for stopping on by. I'm glad that you're having a good time. And I hope that your day and your week and your weekends all go well. As always, I'll see you next time. Aw, yeah.